Hello, welcome back to Cam's Classics. Today we're going to be working on this 66 Mustang, getting the engine pulled out. Okay, so we got our exhaust out both sides. It actually, usually the driver's side's really bad, but there was enough room it could come out the front. So we have this side off, it dropped in the bottom, the front, that side we got out the front. We have our battery tray out and we're ready to go up. And because we're going to be working underneath it, make sure we're good. So I did keep it kind of lower because I know I got to reach up in there. And I can throw this exhaust out. The other one. Trying to keep all of our parts together. So I know we got to undo this spring. Freeze that up. Go ahead and pull this. A different tool. Extension. We'll get that in a minute. course, one bolt's got to be the different, as we found with most of this car. Okay, the two on this side are different. Bottom two, the top two and these two on this side were all the same. That's not really what I want to see, but I don't know where it's come from. So you can see I got a little piece of engine or something there. We'll have to find where that went and see if it's repairable or what we've got. The only other thing I want to do while I'm down here is I wanted to hook up these if I can. That does not seem to be cooperating. We are sitting on this. That's basically holding the back of our engine. But while I'm down here, I'm going to undo the nuts on the motor mount. They're right up here. You do need a long socket. Actually, what I need is on this gun, so we'll just hit it with that. If we can get it in there. We cannot. But we can use that with our ratchet. Actually a different size. There we go. Grab a different tool because that one's not working. Loose, so we'll just pull it and do the same thing on the other side. That one is tight, so have to lift the engine just a little bit to get the pressure off that. That'll come out. We've got to get this piece out. And
can we hook them deals up to where the top 2 bolts was on the bell housing?
Maybe. Yeah, we can get that. Keep on the bolts. They'll fit. Okay. So I decided just now I'm going to take that off as well. Clutch and pressure plate. It'll give us just that little bit more room to get the engine out. And it's got to come off before we put it on our engine stand anyway, so. That was a really good sign. The engine just turned a little. So this engine hasn't run for probably 20 years. So the fact that it broke free like that super exciting. That just kind of means we may not have a whole lot of rust build up in the cylinders and that it can be rebuilt. I was trying to make these bolts touch the engine block. Pretty long bolts. I can hear a little compression. Okay, so it's just more of these bolts. We'll get out, I'll finish getting these out, and then we'll come back to you when we're ready to pull the engine. Okay, so we're ready to go down. Ready to hook up? Almost.
How far do you want to go out?
All the way. So we're at our half ton, which is 1,000 pounds. That engine's probably 400 or 500. So we're well within our spec. That's why I was struggling with it on the bottom. Make sure we're good and tight. Just a hair more. Grab our hammer. Find one. This little screwdriver just needs to go a little bit. down just a hair. Yep. Okay. So we got that out. And we're going to try something here. I don't know that it'll work. We'll give it a shot.
Whoa, whoa. Didn't want to come off. Where's your hammer? You will have to be the hammer. Sorry about that wild ride.
Come up just a hair more. And there's our last part, which is the clutch. We're going to grab a pan, maybe. Or it'll be done by the time I find one. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually tip the engine forward using this. Seven-eighths. Try and catch that as much as we can. We'll let that drain for a little bit and come back to you. Okay, so we're ready to go up. Let me show you how this tool works. So it's very nice to be able to tilt the engine. You can use one of these, you know, a lot of people used to just do it with like a chain. This is so much nicer than that. Okay, now I got the back cleared just a little bit. I want to take it back. You can see we're kind of a little bit of an angle. And that'll give us a little more clearance on our front here. So it's very nice for that. And just the hairs, we're clear. See, we kind of mangled the filter off trying to get it. Just really hard to do inside the car, especially when it's been on there for years. That gasket's probably basically glued itself to it, so I believe we're clear. Okay, and that is far enough. So our next step is we're going to get it on our, we're actually going to have to set it down because we need to put our two mounts here and here on our engine stand. So we'll set it down on like a tire and then get that mounted on, or get ready to mount that on. We'll come back to you. Okay, so before we get too far, I actually want to take this flywheel off. Because once I put it on the stand, you can't get to the mounts. And this is where it gets fun. These are heavy. That's it. That's where it gets fun. 70 or 80 pounds, and you got to catch that. So now we're ready to set it down so we can get these. We'll move them out to these outside ones now that we can get to them, or down here, but we'll move these two. We got to move these two so that we can put our stand on there. So we'll come back to you in just a minute. Okay, so we're back. We're ready to put this on the engine stand. Here's our piece. A little awkward to do yourself, but it is doable. See, I got it all loose. We'll tighten it as soon as we get these in. One thing you do want to do is kind of make sure this center is lined up with the center of the engine. I like to do these by hand. Just when you're going into a block, you don't want to crack it, break it when you're looking to rebuild it. So I like to do these by hand. You do want to make sure your bolts go in there, you know, an inch, inch and a half. Don't necessarily need them to bottom out, but you're putting all of your weight on these 4 mounting locations, so make sure you have substantial enough threads in there. It's going to hold it. last one. Just give them all a quick snug. Yeah. Then I need to grab a wrench. And these ones I will tighten with this. So you just kind of okay. Got that mounted on there. I'll show you the way I do this. Instead of trying to get the engine just right, you go up a little higher than it is. And then I can go up a little higher. So I don't worry that it's not straight. And grab our pin, our turner. And just set it down. Nice and easy. There, we're unhooked. Get that out of the way, not hit our truck. So now the hard part is I do not know. Fords are kind of new to me. So we got to find out where the engine numbers are. We'll find out what we have. Find out the cost, what it's going to cost. We'll probably rebuild it. I'll probably do that over the winter. I'm not too concerned. I've rebuilt engines. Being a Ford, it's basically the same, you know, just different tolerances, different clearances, different torque specs, but basically the same as doing a Chevy GM engine. So we'll go ahead and do that. We're going to figure out what we got, and we'll go from there. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.